Actually quipped several times that if God doesn't strike down Washington, D.C., he owes Sodom and Gomorrah an apology. It is so corrupt there. The corruption is beyond comprehension. And Biden again proved it. If he really believed that he was here to protect us, which he's not, but if he was, he would be protecting our borders. And he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care if people come in that are not vaccinated. But he wants all of us to be fired from our jobs if we're not. And so how do we do as Madison said, erect the barriers against the encroachments of the national authority? How do we do that? First, we the people must be involved with our sheriffs and other local officials to erect those barriers. And on the show, Sam Bushman, it was his network, Liberty Roundtable, Sam Bushman suggested that I write a letter to the governors who are saying that they're going to sue the president over this. Well, as many of you know, I sued the federal government when I was sheriff in Arizona. And it ended up costing me my career as sheriff. I lost the race during that fight. I lost my third election. And then I won the war. I lost the battle, but I won the war when the United States Supreme Court came out about 9 or 10 months later saying that I had won at the United States Supreme Court. Now the name on the case is Prince, P-R-I-N-T-Z. He was the sheriff from Montana that joined me in the lawsuit about 5 weeks after I filed it. And I started the whole thing. That's historical fact. I'm not bragging, but I started the whole thing. And the lawsuit that I filed was filed against the federal government the very day the Brady Bill took effect. It was on that. It was on the Brady Bill. That was February 28, 1994. And I know I don't look that old. Thank you very much. But we're talking a long time ago. The decision came out June 27, 1997, and I lost my race the September before that. This is a highlighted version of that case. You need to get a bunch of these. Anybody who doesn't believe our side, just hand them this and have them read it. This is the highlights of the case. Let me give you one quote. But the Constitution protects us from our own best intentions. Did you hear that? From our own best intentions. Also talks about the crisis of the day. But the Constitution won't protect us, will it? It'll be people that are enforcing it. The Constitution doesn't enforce itself. It has to be from the people who swore an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. Amazingly, the Democrats swore that oath too. And look how many Republicans who don't pay any attention to it either. And that's why I always say, Washington was so prophetic when he said a two-party system would destroy our country, because it is. But it's amazing. Biden swore that same oath to uphold and defend, protect, and preserve the Constitution. So, astonishing, isn't it? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a letter to the governors and say, you don't want me to tell you what I learned by going to the United States Supreme Court? I learned I shouldn't have gone to the United States Supreme Court. What if I had lost? It would have made it worse for all of you. It would have gutted the Second Amendment. It would have gutted state sovereignty. And we'd have had to fight back to get all that back. And after you lose it, what should the sheriffs have done when the federal government came in and said, you're going to enforce the Brady Bill for us? We should have said, that's real funny. No, we are not. You're not my boss and you can't tell me what to do. Go away. You want to come and arrest us? Come and arrest us. But at the time, I was kind of new to this stuff and I said, I got to sue him. I got to sue him. And the real miracle there was my wife agreed I should sue him. And then she agreed with it. It's just totally a miracle. She even agrees that it's a miracle. That was it. Folks, I'm going to ask the governors to say no. You don't need permission from a federal court to stop a federal mandate. You don't need it. Well, of course. But you don't need to ask permission to keep your oath of office. The governors are sovereign. They answer only to the people in their state. They do not answer to the federal government. And in fact, this case says we are not subject to federal direction. Don't you wish your governors knew that? Well, I'm going to try to let them know. This is the most powerful 10th Amendment decision in the history of America. In the history of America. And it happened from two small town sheriffs, one from Montana and one from Arizona. Now, we'll get into that a lot later, but just wanted to kind of introduce this for you and let you know what we're doing at the CSPOA full time is to create constitutional sheriffs and constitutional counties all across America. We have people from Colorado that are here wanting to do that. There's people all over the country that want to do this. And let me tell you, I'm ready to move to Texas because the Texas sheriffs are really, really on fire with this right now. And I never thought I'd say that, but they are. I said, where are the Texas sheriffs? Way back when we first started all this. Where's the Texas sheriffs? Sovereignty and independence. And they've caught on. And we've already done we did a convention there in February. We did 3 seminars after that. And we got 5 more seminars lined up in the next few weeks, all in Texas. And you know what? The sheriffs are inviting us there. We're not having to go to them. They're coming to us. And we can't even keep track of all the calls from Texas. So folks, it's happening, it's real, and you know the only thing we need to do now is make it bigger, better, and faster, and well-funded. Bigger, better, and faster. And we'll take this thing all across the country. Thanks so much for being here. You're going to have a great lesson today, and the Constitution is the answer, and it is the solution, but only if we're enforcing it. So we got lots of work to do.
Where is there more water?
This is the one I brought from the hotel.
Oh.
Does anybody have?
We're fine.
Okay, just for you, go grab some.
Oh, and also, can I get on the internet in here?